Alright, today we are looking at the parabola, which is a conic section. I'm going to be introducing this parabola. The equation of a parabola in standard form will come one of two ways. You'll either have a y minus k squared equals 4p x minus h, or you'll have x minus h squared equals 4p y minus k. Now we are pretty much already familiar with the x minus h squared version. This version is the version that you're used to, where we have a vertical parabola. So it's either opening up or it's opening down. So the only difference between the two is with the one on the right, the x term is squared. With the one on the left, the y term is squared. Now, the y term being squared makes us open left or right. So when we have the y term there being squared, that's where it opens left or right. In this case, it's opening to the right because p is positive. Now, what you'll notice is that we have different parts of this parabola. I'm going to get into that on the next slide. But the important part for this slide is that when y is squared, it's going to open left or right. When x is squared, it's going to open up or down. In this case, it's opening up because p is positive. All right, for the equation of a parabola where x is squared, we spoke about that being vertical. We're going to talk about each of the parts. So when p is greater than 0 and p is a positive number, it's going to open up. And we're talking about this p right here. So if this number, that's 4p, but if just the p is positive and the whole thing will be positive, p is negative, that whole thing is going to be negative. If p is positive, it's going to open up, just like we're used to. If p is negative, p is less than 0, it's going to open down. The vertex is HK. So when we talk about HK, we're talking about this H, and we're talking about this K. You'll notice that the H and the K are negative, and therefore they're going to flip to give you the vertex. So for example, if I had x minus 2 at that part with the x minus h, then my h would be a positive 2. If I had x plus h, then that h would be negative. Same thing with k. If I had y minus 2, the k would be a 2. But if I had y plus 2, the k would be negative 2. Focus is always inside the parabola. And it basically is controlled by p. So with the vertex being right there, basically at the middle of the parabola, the focus is going to be p units away from the vertex. So if p is positive, you're going to go up p units. If p was negative, you'll go down p units, and your vertex would wrap around going down like that. So we're going to go up p units to get the focus. P units from the vertex. Now the directrix is the opposite direction, but it's a line. Okay? It's p units from the vertex going the opposite direction. So if p is positive, you go up to get the focus, but then you're going to go down to get that line. Now since it's a line, it's going to be y equals something. Horizontal lines are y equals. Vertical lines are x equals. So when I try to get this directrix right here, I'm not drawing a very straight line, that directrix is going to be y equals the k portion, but minus p. I'll say it one more time. Y is going to be equal to that k portion of the vertex, but minus 3. Minus p. Sorry. Minus p. The reason why it's minus p because it moved down p. Now if it was flipped the other way and directrix was up, then it would be plus p. It's just p units away. The easiest way, if you don't want to memorize the whole minus and plus thing, is just to graph it and see where the line is. Now let's look at the axis of symmetry. For a vertical parabola, it's going to be a vertical axis of symmetry. Vertical lines are x equals something, and it's basically just going to be x equals h. And that's it. And that's it for the intro. Tune in for the next couple videos for examples of problems.